from Overpass. I haven't seen them play Overpass. They've played Barrage 5 times this week, and they haven't played anything else. Premiership, they played Barrage. UKGT Tours first week, they played Barrage. Previous map they played Barrage. So at this point, it's anyone's game. I don't know how strong they're going to be, but based off what we saw last time, Mirage T-sides are a lot easier and based off individual skill than Overpass T-sides, right? And if Impulse is struggling on the T-sides of Mirage, well, they've got another thing coming for them on their T-side Overpass. So Nuki with a nice, confident headshot there on top one makes it 5 versus 4.
Yeah, perhaps the best way to open the show is Nuki, though. It's just him, the one-band army. I referred to him as what was, I think it was the Swiss Army knife in that previous matchup, and well, he's doing it again, so I'd say he's back at it with the double kill. Happy days for him, and well, perhaps he's going to take it even further, as he's on the aggressive front. Meanwhile, the rest of his team are actually playing this one relatively smart. They're not going over aggressive, they're just letting him do his own thing, and then they're playing around that, and a lot of that comes down to their connector control, and where they're sat over towards that B site, and this is looking real good for them now. Barrage beginning to build an up. Peto just trying to take a bit of a peek towards heaven there. He's going to at least find himself a bit of a tag, and well, that always needs a bit of a parting gift with the CTs, but that's nothing crazy. The big thing with Velox, he's going to find the headshot on towards Ray. This leaves a window of opportunity, but can they go with it? Samuel, the man from heaven, just trying to tap on through, but unable to really fulfill, should I say, his objective.
Objective here, minimal, is a bomb plant from Barrage side. They are 2-man down already thanks to Nuki. Nuki even. He spots that player go inside, connecting and spot them as well towards mid. So the CTs, they know what's up. Velox needs to find an early kill, otherwise this is going to be a very easy round for Impulse to close out, pushing towards Truck. Can he land a kill?
Bombs happen. Velox just trying to make it work. Curves one back on towards Samuel. Peto going aggressive over towards Garbage and gets the shot on towards Cynic. And from here, it pits off back to a 2 versus 2. And look at that clock stance. It's crucial. But Peto, he goes for the drive-by, burst fires on towards Jamming, and that leaves a huge situation now for Nuki to call out of. And he gets shut down by Peto, who goes even further aggressive. A triple kill for him. What a round as an individual. Wow. What a way to play that 2 versus 2. Barrage, they get themselves 1-0 up, and they look to hammer on forward now. 2 rifles and a UMP. Yeah,
apologies there for that throw. I didn't realise you were drinking something or whatever you're doing. So,
all good.
1-0, Barrage need to take the pistol, and taking the pistol round on the T side of Overpass is very important, because what happens is, actually, wait a minute. I was about to say what happens is the CTs, when they force buy, they don't have utility and mollies for the first buy round, and actually, Impulse here buying Deagles. And only Deagles, no armor, no utility, and a USP on Nuki. These guys are going for the full save. They understand, as well as me, how important the Molotovs are for Overpass. But this also means that these SMGs are going to have a very easy time farming up frags.
Nuki there making mincemeat of them, pretty much there.
Yeah, Nuki there, finding one. Still all going for... Oh my goodness, that's a nice shot there from Samuel. 2 frags for Impulse. They've done more than enough for themselves here. Not buying into this round at all, really, apart from just $700 a piece each. And they've taken out 1 AK, or I'm not sure if it's 2 SMGs, but regardless, they've taken out a lot of money of Barrage's side. But still, 2-0 in favour of Barrage, and we're going to see probably a 3-0 as well, because Impulse are on that double eco. Then again, though, having the Molotovs and counter flashes as well is so important for the B site. A lot of the times, these, I don't want to say unstructured teams, but fairly new teams, Barrage, they recently got Velox and Neto back in, and they went under Barrage, or just as they qualified for UKGT, so definitely a fresh team. They've been playing together, they've been playing as a set 4 for a while, but obviously they took a break, so it does take a while for things to get back and fit back into place, so could be seeing a lot of B contact plays from them, or if they want to play how we used to, heavy, you know, A defaults and heavy towards A long.
Well, certainly just one cog in the machine, but he's doing his job so far as he continues to let it roll on forward. A double kill for him. Neto next in line to find one on towards Ray with the MAC-10, and bit by bit things are looking ever so plentiful as Wong is going to hammer it home. Another double kill for him as well, making a whole lot of money when it comes down to these SMGs as Barrage carry themselves to a 3-0 standpoint. Perfect scoreline for them and a perfect start, but now they have to deal with a bit more of a rivalry as things are beginning to heat on up on Overpass. Impulse Gaming, they're on the buy-in. Well, Cynic buying rather late, but nonetheless, it is going to be the 4 M4s and the AWP buy on towards Nuki.
Yep, and they're keeping the SMGs as well. They're anticipating no head arm on the side of Impulse. The problem... Oh, the double nade! The triple nade! Catches Nuki off guard, and already a man advantage for the side of Barrage, but Cynic trying to equalize the numbers, the 4 versus 4, but a quick trade there from Prezi. will have them marching and stomping up. Banana up A short towards the A bomb site. Ray1 here with a fast rotate.
And looking to almost just try and make it work around this truck and gets himself at least one. That's the bare minimum for what he's looking for with that peak, but he's got a second next in line as Velox is going to try and force the issue. Goes for the aggressive push. Jammy hasn't that nade. Could go for a perfect dunk on towards Shankton. Well, he does some damage, but it's only going to be a slither, a scraping almost of what they actually need to achieve now. As the CT side quick on their heels, but look at this position being held from Ray. He's always just waiting for this boost to fulfill itself. That smoke is going to fade, but Wong shoulder peaks, goes on back, and the timing means that boost is rendered useless. Heartbreaking for the CT side now as Wong tries to really close this one out with this AWP, and well, he's being one hell of a turret at this point. They're sticking it. It is going to be a quick double kill though. Unfortunately, he's only able to do just so much, but not enough to stop the round from being closed out. Impulse Gaming back on the board.
So I actually forgot to mention this. And some of the players were brought up a concern about a slight bug in the UKGT servers, is that you can actually spot players through smokes, which shouldn't happen, and similar to how it was in Source. And yeah,
I imagine as Misty just said, it's not a UKGT specific thing, but more of a CSGO thing.
Well, you want to argue that point? That's fine. We'll do it after the broadcast is over. But that player there, I can't remember who it was. Maybe I think it was Prezi or Shank there, being spotted inside the smoke and does fall. But still, 1-3, 2 rounds favouring Barrage. And if they can take this one as well, then reset the money of Impulse, we could be seeing a very similar affair to what we saw on Mirage, where Impulse would win a round and then instantly be reset following that. That definitely hurts yourself following into the first half.
Jammy just trying to bear down on towards this monster push, but Wong with the, well, select use of weaponry is pulling them through. A quick double kill for him, using that scope to its full advantage. Ever so accurate as he finds himself these headshots. Peso going to find just another one towards Cynic, and it seems like the pieces yet again are falling all over the board for this T-side. Impulse Gaming, so much to do here to get out of this one, and we say Impulse, in reality it is just Nuki. Gets himself at least that first frag, and that does pit things to a bit of a fighting chance, but well, after that, getting this next two, going to be ever so difficult. A blinding affair just the minute he even thinks about peeking. He shall receive, and he goes back aggressive on towards Lure. Finds one, goes for the second, but, well, makes it look possible, and unfortunately it still isn't going to be.
No, it won't be, but it was the B attack from Barrage, catching those Impulse players off guard. You saw, I think it was, who was it towards Monster got caught? Forget the name. Player got caught off towards Monster, trying to turn for a flashbang that he saw. Instead, though, Wong sprung the trap early, catch that player off guard. And as soon as that first entry happened, they flooded out Monster, and the trades came in, and they took control of that B-bomb side. And the 1 versus 3, Nuki almost clutches it. Still, though, money reset here. The fourth play comes in. Impulse and Shank there, a nice double spray down. Will make it a 2 versus 5. That's Wong chimes into Jammy James. Almost making that a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, trying to fight tooth and nail to bring it back to a multiple round, trying to go for a bit of a spray down of his own, but against Nod, it's the same old moot point. He's not able to do too much. Does get himself at least 2 kills, but the rest of his team really haven't been able to achieve anything, and 2 kills not quite enough for Ray, really, as he's only just got that 5-7. He is going to pick up that M4, which with Kevlar behind him, hey, that's effectively the equivalent of what he would have, you know, in a ladder in a round off using all that utility in a buy. But then it's still a 1v3.
Yeah, problem is as well, he's at the opposite side of the map with no kit. So already 5 seconds knocked off his time to find these 3 players. Shank is low, so if we did come down to the 1 versus 1 and Shank towards toilet, then maybe there's a chance. But even then, at this point, Ray 1, the money is strong on Barrage's side. Your money's very weak. You're going to get the money round bonus even if you lose. So basically, on your bike, mate, jog on, head towards B, save that rifle, and allow Barrage to keep the 3 rifles, because at this point, you're denting your own economy more than you're denting theirs. 4-1, or sorry, 5-1 now. Impulse, they go for the force buy, doesn't merit them the advantage. Then again, though, Nuki does have some cash. They can drop pistols over here. Ray 1 as well will save the AK, so this could be a decent buy actually coming out the side of Impulse. And if they go and they opt to play together, maybe go for, not connected pushes, just saw Shank took advantage of that last time, but maybe double push towards A long with the rifle. That's what I would do personally. Try and, you know, get a man advantage early. Try and play off of a 4 versus 5. Try and grab that rifle as well. There's a chance Impulse can take this, but Wong, he's still on the SSG. But it will be the full save for Impulse.
Yeah, and that full save is going to lead us to a bit of a moot point where you've got Ray on one side with that AK-47, which is a whole lot of firepower, right? That's a real positive, but then when you kind of bring it back down to planet Earth with these pistols, you're in a situation where things are looking rather uninhabitable for this team, as they are just going to get dropped on dead towards long. Do some damage in the process with their deagle, but even then, well, it's a pretty stripping affair to look for some positivity as a smoke to go towards garbage. Peto going to just be clearing out the site, and perhaps even a choice to go aggressive through that gap, as he is going to spot out Ray. And well, very, very soon we can expect a couple of things. It's going to be frags, it's going to be a bomb plant, it's going to be a round win for Barrage.
Yep, fairly clean as well. 4 players staying alive as long as no one else does full hit. They are pushing for not real reason here, just the $300, and that'll be $600 in the back pocket of Presley. 1-6 now. Impulse, they need to take this round. If they lose this and they allow Barrage to get to 1-8 on their T side as well, I mean, you've got to be expecting a strong CT side here from Impulse, right? You've got your star AWPer, Nuki, AWPing on CT side overpass. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's very, very strong. And you need a prevalent AWPer to definitely have prevalent and strong CT sides. Don't auto-play for here. Nuki getting aggressive towards middle with his AWP. They're trying to find the first frag, but look how passive Barrage are playing. And actually, Impulse there, they get cold feet, they fall back, and they go towards Connector.
Connector certainly a point of attack, but can also be a pretty tough vector in itself. Nonetheless, it is going to be Barrage working their way out just around this water. Try not to give off too many sound cues, but Race almost certainly has a rough idea that the presence is going to be there, which is why we're seeing Barrage get themselves lining up with this utility, one of which could be interesting for Cynic, as he gets the jump on them, finds that pick on towards Peto, off the back of just being a bit sporadic in his entry. Shanks a successful shot on towards Ray. Neto a second on towards Nuki, but look at Samuel coming in from the flank as well. Will be Cynic as he finds one back in return, and this one really is going backwards and forwards, but look at Barrage. They've played them hook, line, and sinker. The bomb is going over towards A. Molotovs are plentiful over towards garbage. Oh, bank smoked off. CT side, there's nothing they can do.
They planted for bank as well. This is so smart, actually. I really like the way Barrage have played this. Even though I believe they lost too many players towards B, maybe they got a bit too antsy there. The problem is, though, Velox, he has to take one frag at least and stay alive. He gets the second as well. Seeing John rotating in from toilets, and because Velox is there, they know exactly where he is. Velox can hide here. He has 2 flashbangs as well to play the bomb. Sending John with no kit, it taps the bomb, but at this point, it's useless. Barrage goes 7-1. And Impulse Gaming, I mean, they sold the fake so well there. Maybe too many players died on the side of Barrage, but the reason so many players died was because the flank came in. And the flank came in because there were 2 players towards A. If you had players on the T side towards short, that flank doesn't happen, so, you know, it does go both ways. But still, Impulse Gaming on the reset, only selling John here with armor. 5-7 deagles across the board, though. Very tough round for them to win.
Tough round indeed. Of course, we saw 3 rounds in that original stint for Barrage when they got that pistol, and well, from there it was final interruption from Impulse, but then they quickly got a reset, and that's the kind of moot point that really sums up how we've got to this 1-7, and we'll now have to take that even further. Just a next step, you can say. Oh, it's just pistol. Cynic just try and take a much more longer range fight. Samuel with the deagle spamming for, well, yet again a bit of a hopeful affair, but this one really is going to be looking to be, well, tough, I think it's the fairest way to describe it. Samuel is going to get that flick on towards Velox, so hey-ho, that's something. But I'm looking at this gunfight that Pedo has taken and going, oh, okay, well, that's the trade. Once things start to go back to trading, these rifles are always going to win. These pistols have their work cut out for them. Nades landing at their feet, doing even more damage. Jammy taking a longer range fight, but somehow Wongy's not going to win it. This is insanity with the fact that Jammy's able to make that one work. The Shank will now readjust over towards Long. Samuel with the rifle in hand that he has picked up gets the headshot on towards Peto. Barrage, how on earth have you thrown this away? A quick flash to come out from Shank, but at this point the pistols are good because they can just be a distraction.
How does Jammy James win that duel? No armor on a 5-7. And somehow takes that player towards site. Impulse Gaming don't get reset again because yes, you won the round, but that could definitely be a blessing in disguise. Blessed with a curse here potentially, because if they lose the subsequent round and get reset again, this could be 9-2, and at 9-2, Barrage, they've already got more than enough rounds. You know, on your T-side overpass, if you're getting 9-6 as a bare minimum, you've done more than enough going into your CT half. And Impulse Gaming. Nick here as well. When you go for that pick, you need the flashbang from the player towards heaven. And now Barrage, they know there's only 2 players towards B. They know Nuki plays A, so they already know it's going to be a weird setup as well. The CT's going to have to play a weird setup around Nuki's AWP, so definitely going to be hard for him to hold this off.
Yeah, Barrage looking almost like a bit of an unstable affliction at this point as they continue to push on forward. That's the curse you're talking about, kicking into high gear at this point, is they've got a man advantage. They've got themselves almost in a bit of a cluster bomb effect on towards B. This is looking so dangerous. Wong looking for this close range shot. His AWP has now become a shotgun, it seems. This barrel in hand will look to creep out towards Monster. And I'm kind of looking at the CT side setup as well and going, this is almost wrong. You know, yeah, it looks very weird for when you know there's a lot of presence towards B. But the other key thing for me as well is they've got a lot of players off the site, and then you're looking at just Jammy, who feels like he's almost all alone, just hung out to dry. We do see a quick trade though. A second actually claimed for Ray, so that's good. That's something.
Yeah. So 2 versus 3 now. How is the 2 versus? Oh my God!
Samuel, how are you hitting those shots? Goes for another on towards Wong. Isn't able to hit it, but still alive, and that's going to be the most important thing. But Velox is going to push on towards short and take him down. But what a shot from Samuel. That certainly steals the limelight away from Barrage in that round.
No. I really did think Barrage played that wrong there. You got the first pick, and in their heads like, okay, we've got man advantage. Play slow, play slow, play slow. The problem is Impulse had a good play there. They realized they need information fast. Is it going to be a B player? Or is it just a default and they've caught Nicky off guard that way? They push towards toilets. They peek mid. They see nothing. They push down connector. They go 2 for 1 in connector. And at that point, the numbers are equalized, right? And somehow, some way, Barrage make it 3 versus 2. And I thought that would have been a nice one up there. Samuel as well with that godly flick through. About to call it something I should have there. Through pillar. Does make it 2 versus 2, and then in the 1 versus 2 he does fall. But yeah, Barrage, initial first pick there. They played it slow. I don't quite agree with that, but at the same time, you can't fault them. They won the round, fair play to them. They're playing stellar Counter-Strike versus Impulse Gaming right now. And already 6 rounds from the lead.
That's so playing around these stairs, goes for a bit of a jumping shot as his teammate flies on by, and that's certainly not what we want to be doing. It's a shotgun that's sat tight against the corner, but nonetheless, the do's and don'ts, they've been explained, but the result, not so much. As the shotgun will fall, the players will hit the deck. And Barrage Esports, they may not have HP, but they do have a man advantage. And taking into account Wong just hitting on a measly amount of 12, but again, it's still a man, as we mentioned. Plus 40 seconds coming on the clock now. Barrage do need to begin to make some sort of movement to a site now, and I think that's very apparent, Snods. And this A site, I would say, it's
winnable.
A little bit more successful for Barrage. It is winnable, though, with Ray, especially with this pop flash, but can't get close. And one of the big things that's going to stick up to me is if he peeks solo, which he's doing. That's not what you want to do. Jammy is nowhere to be seen. He's pitched his tent on the stairs. Is going to at least find himself a bare minimum of 1. Velox is going to hold it tight and take it home.
Still though, from a 3 versus 2 to 1 versus 1, they played it well. Ray 1 found the first kill there. I believe it was Wong that was super low HP, so that's why it was initially winnable. You can try and take that first player down and make it 2 versus 2 and then play the trade game as they did there. Unfortunately though, Velox managed to trade Jammy James and made it 9-2. Reset for Impulse. What did I say? If they take that 1 round, it could be a blessing in disguise, and it definitely was. Because already, Impulse started sitting at 9-2, and I said if Barrage get to 9, they've already won the half in terms of what they're expecting. 9-6 is the minimum rounds they can get here. Impulse Gaming, who won the pistol? Yeah, it was Barrage, so they've only won 1 rifle round and then a full eco as well. This could be 13-2, 13-2, or even a 12-3 half here, Flakes. This is looking very dire for Impulse Gaming.
Yeah, kind of the only thing that really comes to mind is where do they go from this? Is there much potential to apply a quick fix? This is something where you can just slap on a band-aid and hope for the best, or are we really looking at kind of a situation where you can say the end is nigh, as it is 9-2? These sort of matches, they do tend to go one of 2 ways. They either spiral out of control and we stare down the barrel of a 13-2 abomination of a half, or, you know, at least a 12-3, or are we going to see a bit more of a comeback come in where, you know, a 10-5, a 6-9 is on the cards. 10-5 much more realistic, I think, considering what's going to be coming to this round. But, you know, is there anything to look towards in the spotlight, or is it all but done?
If it goes 10-5 and Impulse Gaming win the second pistol and make it 8-10, you know, that's very durable. We've seen in the previous map on Mirage, Impulse are very good on their pistol rounds, so definitely a chance if they make it 10-5 and somehow manage to potentially win the first buy round, then instantly, you know, it's 10-10. So they need the second pistol, don't drop a round to the force buy, and then win the first gun round. But Impulse Gaming, if they're going to show a similar T-set to what they did last time, that's too much to ask in my opinion. At this point, it's looking very one-sided in favor of Barrage. And when it goes 10-2, even just asking for a 10-5 half, is a lot to ask for. And then you're asking for the pistol round, and then you're asking for the first buy round on your T side. It's too many what ifs. It's too many. They need X to have a chance at winning this. Yeah, this is looking very bleak.
The other thing as well is I would say with quite a lot of confidence, to be honest, that comparing this map to kind of the previous they just played, Overpass is a much harder T-side to master. You can't just kind of wing that with quick aggression. There needs to always be some tactical thought in your positioning, because the CTs, they can dart fairly easily between that A and B site. As a terrorist, if you start advancing on towards A, you have to rush back towards connector, and that really does require some planning in terms of positioning, let alone then your pushes on towards sites. You know, it's always about this two-prong avenue, whether it's A long or, you know, that quick push on A short, similar sort of thing towards B.
It's also about having connector control anyway, right? So you need to go through connector, but you also need to have control of connector. This is a good boost here.
Speaking of the devil.
Yep. Speaking of connector, Sam1 and St. John find 2 kills as players exit connector. Velox though, peeking in towards toilets. He spots the flashbang. Nuki towards long toilets. Velox knows exactly where he is. Wong finds St. John and wide facing. Nuki finds him. 2 versus 4. Sorry, beg your pardon. Nice shot there from Wong, but look at the HP. 27 and 53. Jamie James has got an easy 2 bullets here of the M4. 2 bullets will find Wong. 1 bullet will find Prezi. That's actually a really smart play there.
Yeah, Jamie, you talk about how easy it is for him to land a shot, but actually when he's presented an opportunity to get the kill, he doesn't. You know, gets a couple of them landed, but it's not quite enough to secure the kill, which, you know, it has to be said, with 55 seconds to play with, the ball is now in the court of Barrage. They have a choice to make in terms of where they want to go. They can come up with a play. They're seemingly very, very split up at the moment, but that seems to be what they want to do. That seems to be their approach, and kind of the read I'm getting, the inkling is, you know, we're going to get that bomb, begin to move over towards B site. Peto going to try and A, fake them over towards A, but then also try and get that quick push down through bank and come in from behind on the flank.
Oh, no way is this going to work.
This is madness. If they're actually getting away with this.
No way. This can't work. Come on, surely.
Peto doesn't want to die here either.
But you saw the delay between nades. You know that that can only be one person. Well, it could be 2, but how
Common
delayed...
sense will tell you.
It's not just that, but like, okay. When you see a smoke land, you see a molly land instantly afterwards, and a flashbang, you're like, okay, there's 3 people here because of how fast his nades were thrown. Smoke was thrown, and then like 2 seconds, then the molly was thrown, and for some reason Wong is playing an open angle with 2 HP, so he just dies. And now Prezi in the 1 versus 2.
Gonna try and make it work. The defuse already being peeked on out there, and Jamie getting allowed a headshot straight off the bat. A questionable after-punch strategy, considering I was almost screaming off of my lips there the fact they were able to get away with a second player alive as well, because usually that's the sort of strategy, right, where the guy who's thrown the smokes will fall and you're left in a 1 versus 2. But they had, best case, 1 in a million almost in that 2v2, and then they leave that sour note of going for, I don't even want to say questionable, just absolute ridiculous after-punch strategies. That's one way to throw away an advantage.
There's just much better ways you can play it, right? Both players had nades. Prezi throws his nades towards long. Wong still had his nades. Wong can play in the pit area. You know the pit I'm talking about, opposite the B bomb site, in the little pit there with the water. He can play a headshot angle there and hold heaven. And then you have Prezi jump on top of site, hold another headshot angle, and he can hold hell, sorry. And you've got a smoke on Wong. Wong can smoke off short. He can flash it. He can do whatever he wants. At the end of the day, there are headshot angles, many headshot angles towards B. You can smoke heaven if you want, and then play barrels and hold short push. So, Barrage, not quite reading the situation well there. He shouldn't be openly facing, and, you know, Jamie James on full HP and Wong on 23, whatever it was. It's very easy duel there for him, so... Still though, the bomb did go down, and that will be more money in the bank for Barrage. And even though they've won so many rounds in a row, their money's actually quite low. A lot of 2 versus 2s, a lot of very close situations have resulted in Barrage's money not actually being quite strong as we previously thought. But they'll be going 4 rifles, well, I say 4 rifles, 5 rifles, and a Krieger, an SSG. So, this could be set play towards B contact with Wong's SSG. It could also be heavy towards A long, smoke the bottom of A long, execute onto A, and take advantage of Nuki if he decides to AWP there.
I do have to say, Snarls, as much as everything you just said was really, really good, and I do agree with that, but it was very, very hard to deal with the off-putting sounds that Wong and Peto have to make. I have to say, they've got 2 very beautiful singing voices. I'm not quite sure if you've got voices enabled, but...
Ooh, let me put it on, actually.
They're going to town with their voices right now. You've missed out on it a bit,
sing
but
for me.
Suffice to say, it looks like Peto can hold a note.
Sing for me.
A very high note, but a note nonetheless.
Right, what song are they singing? Let's take a look. Volume. Let's increase the volume here.
I'm gonna be disappointed if the stream couldn't hear that, to be honest.
Sing for me,
Because that
Flakes, like one of your French girls.
I'm not singing for you,
whatever
man.
that
I'm
quote
not-
is from the Titanic.
I'm not putting myself through that. That's trauma for me, let alone the viewers at home and yourself. There's gonna be a glass breaking somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, when I first threw to you as well, in the first round, I heard you put something glass on the table like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it may have not been a glass going on the table and the glass falling over, but you know what? It is what it is.
Did you spill water everywhere?
Yeah, there might be water currently all over my floor, but that's Future Flakes'
Yeah,
problem.
we heard that. We heard that.
Yeah.
Future Flakes. Yeah.
That's Future me problem. I'll deal with
Yeah, it's
that later
fine.
on.
You know, Future Flakes is gonna have cast the money in the bag. Who cares about a little bit of water spilling?
Yeah, it's all good. Should be fine.
Wet things is, you know, your average Tuesday night, isn't it, Flakes?
You're loving that one, aren't you? You do love the easy ones.
Oh, I do love the easy ones. The Barrage do 10-3. 7 rounds of the lead. Best case scenario for Impulse is a 5-10 half, and even then, that's a very big ask to get 11 rounds on your CT side, especially after what they showed us on Barrage. So, at this point, it's looking heavily favoured in terms of Barrage. Money as well is low on Impulse, so if they lose this one, they have to save for the last one, so it could easily be 11-4.
All in all, a pretty bleak standpoint, I think. 11-4, 12-3. There is a difference in rounds when it comes down to that pistol round and where things go from there, but it is still also pretty damn uncomfortable when you're on the receiving end of just that big of a blow. Ray, of course, going to throw out a bit of a cheeky smoke to kick things off, but, you know, I like this from the CT side. It's going to be some early presence, hopefully, over towards the B site. We're going to see more than likely a monster peek off the back of Ray's flash, and that will try and really just garner some respect from Impulse over to the side of Barrage, but that does also leave a lot of, well, play to be made from Shank as he gets the easy peek on towards Nuki, and not only that, it's going to be Wong on short as well.
1 minute 25 on the clock. Already Nuki falls, trying to make the play. Oh, Velox! Doesn't quite land the second spray though. Oh, and he gets the second kill for himself. 2 versus 5. What am I watching here? This is just a mess. Nuki peeking towards Connector without the best spawn means that the player, or sorry, the T player has already pushed up Connector, but Jammy James does get 2, but still sitting John in the 1 versus 2. He has a kit and a molly as well, but he actually failed that molly. So the bomb will go down, and actually St. John falls as well. So Nuki trying to make the play again. I mean, he doesn't have the best spawn. He peeks in where you don't have the best spawn towards Connector. The T player can be so close. So as soon as you whiff that shot, you're dead. It's not as if you can peek early, spot him jiggle peeking, and spot him just peeking out, take the shot. If you don't kill him, fine, you can still run away. Nuki, if you want to get aggressive, push B short, peek B short. Don't have to peek everything towards A.
Yeah, I think it's really just beginning to get tougher and tougher. Impulse surrounded in cement almost as they've got their feet stuck on their 3rd round, and getting out of it, well, I'm not sure what really can help them. Velox, easy pickings on towards Nuki for him. Peto for just another on towards Cynic at this point, and a lot of damage is going to be inflicted to 5-7. Somewhat struggling, does dink him down to just a mere 13 HP, so small amounts, you know. A sprinkling of damage would just end his life, but even finding that, yet again, you know, a bit of a search and destroy, a long-lost mission. The boys in green that are Impulse Gaming. As blue seems to be overwhelming them at this point. Velox trying to pin down Connector, finds another on towards Cynics in a bit of a latter-ending story. Ray just trying to survive as long as he physically can over towards Truck, and gets the headshot on towards Neto, which I think is good. But I still think Barrage have this in the bag. I think it's going to just be another easy round. Look at the claps they can apply to this A site, the amount of squeezing they can do. Ray would need to get back-to-back headshots at an ungodly speed to pull that off, and he's just not going to do it, unfortunately. It is the same point. 12-3 is going to be the half, and, well, where does this leave us going into the pistol round?
Well, now I see why Impulse play Mirage every game.
Yeah, Barrage is like the one map where they've put up a fight against not just, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but your sort of teams who aren't necessarily up there within that top 4, top 5 benchmark necessarily, but then, you know, on Mirage, they're fighting, you know, the likes of Kaz and doing relatively well on them. Kaz are a very renowned UK lineup, so I think there's a big difference, should I say, a big disparity between these two maps, and I think it's not just Mirage. They're good at like maps like Cache as well. I've seen some promise from them there, but Overpass, yeah, maybe not again. Not without some real big practice. It's like Rasta playing Dust 2 is kind of the vibe I'm getting right now.
I mean, teams watching this right now, they already probably know just ban Mirage versus Impulse Gaming, and you know, what have they actually got on any other map? You know, they've all their competitive experience in these leagues has been on Mirage. You ban it, And, you know, you put them on something fresh, something, you know, they might practice. But practicing and actually playing something live in the server is very different. Velox pushing towards mid. And actually will be spotted and will go down. Nuki with the first. Can he get second?
Unable to achieve a second, but a frag nonetheless is a whole lot of value for him as he bags it away and decides, you know what, I'm just going to sit here with my stash and be happy as ever, a grin on his face. As Peto, going for a comedic affair, Julie's. Not quite sure if I can stand behind that, but you know what T-side will do, as the T-side will want, as they are on this site now, still just trying to berate them as they find a frag on towards Shank. Another one for Ray as well. Wong finally responds for the CT side with not one, but damage on towards a second, as Samuel are going to be ever so low. But look at Cynic still spamming with his block as Nuki then peeks on around this pillar and claims the life of Wong. Snods, that's a pistol for Impulse Gaming. That right there is the definition of a lifeline.
Yeah, for sure. Now they need to not give this up. Make it 6-12. And then from there, it's a very different story. Barrage, they can't allow themselves to win a round, get reset, as they did to Impulse on their T side. They need to string rounds together and be consistent here. They can't allow the money to break on their CT side. Otherwise, this could be another 16-14. It could be another, well, not another, but potentially an overtime. Still though. Buy comes in, Velox again on the scout. Buys it pretty much every single force buy. But still, good read here from Impulse as they charge up mid.
Yeah, just going lance forward at this point, just trying to almost mow them down with all these SMG bullets. But are they actually going to be able to find anything? The answer so far is going to be a flat-out no. But they do get the bomb plant, and then Samuel and Nuki are all going to combine, and it's all going to look like one hell. A happy day for them, as they are just going to make so much money with those SMGs. And it's nice and spread as well. It's not just one player getting stacked, which is always a positive as well. That means that the scoreline develops into a 12-fine standpoint, where Barrage still on this eco. Going to be USPs and such, so not really expecting to see too much from them, perhaps a bit of damage to be applied, but the big thing now is going to be, okay, are we looking at just a 12-6 and then a quick shutdown from Barrage, or are we starting to see a scoreline develop that, you know, does mean the comeback is on the cards?
I reckon this could get fairly close if Impulse take the first buy round. For me though, if Barrage take the first buy round and make it 13-6, even if they get reset, then it's 7-13, and I mean, then again, Barrage should win from 7-13 down on Mirage. But then again, you know, they were on their CT side, and now they're on their CT side again. Samuel mopping house. 4 SMG kills there. Straight away, $2.5k to the bank. Byron coming in though. Let's see. Org again on Wong. Is he going to peek mid of that? Don't know if he's got. Yeah, he has to spawn as well, but peek mid. You can. Oh, you can actually smoke mid and use the Org scope actually really well, I reckon. Let's see what he does here. Be very interested to see how he plays with the Org. Is he going to smoke mid? Yeah, smokes mid. Oh, he's not going to peek over it though. Going to play passive and watch for the push.
Impulse going for a bit of repetition as they nade stack connector and then try and bite off the back of that as they charge on forward, nipping at the heels of Barrage. And most importantly, it is going to be Neto who's going to find himself chased on down as look at them. The firing squad in line, a double kill between the two of them. Neto then peeking out, looking to take it even further and gets 3 peeks on towards Cynic. Eventually it will be Jammy to trade it back. But Impulse, they have themselves one hell of a hole to dig their way out of now. As just look at their positioning in comparison to Barrage, right? You've got Peto holding close, which means that Samuel or Jammy are going to have to push them. They have to flash that out. Peto should play smart and not peek it. Shanked, he's trying to bait them to come and get him, and was just saying, you know what? Here's the carrot. You know, come and grab it. Come and take it away from me, which means that that's a trade kill. So it was A site, undiscoverable. B site, perhaps their one long lost chance. And with 55 seconds on the clock, they have a whole lot of time to work with to get there. But Snods, I've got to be honest, I'm not holding too much faith in that either. With the man disadvantage and kind of the way these rounds have gone, and who seemingly holds the advantage in skill at least.
Yeah, they have
smokes.
Yeah, they have smokes though. So if they do get the entry here towards B, smoke heaven, smoke hell, and that's when it becomes very difficult for the retake towards Barrage with no nades and no kit. So it's all down to Velox here. He has to get 1 frag here at least. Yep, and now the smokes are here. This is definitely very winnable right now for Impulse.
Flashes are going to go on out, smoke on towards the site, just a little bit to the right, and another one on towards short. And this is crucial because it leaves Graffiti wide open now for Peto and Shank to take this fight. And it actually kind of plays into the hands. They are taking a lot of damage, but look at them sandwich on through, squeezing them out of the site. Jammy, he's so low, he goes for the elevated jump, drops down in towards water, and Shanked and Peto, they will combine and they will take this one for the team. It's going to be 12-6, but it's quickly going to develop off the back of this round to perhaps the end at this point. As Impulse Gaming are running out of chances to pick themselves up rounds to make this comeback happen.
I mean, you got the entry there towards Velox, but they opt to smoke short and they opt to smoke sight. Smoking sight, that's fine, right? The player that rotates in from heaven, when you cross back from sight, he can kill you, so fair play. I'm fine with that smoke. The smoke short, I'm not too sure on. It's very unlikely you have a player towards connector or a player playing towards B short. Very, very unlikely there, so maybe in the Monic, I wouldn't say they panicked, but didn't really have the thought process at the time that we do. Velox here, is he going to catch Nuki out with the orb?
A couple of shots are certainly thrown off, a bit of a seasonal greeting almost, and eventually it's actually going to be Wong to catch them off guard, but Nuki is going to respond and gets that quick trade kill, but Wong getting double kill? Well, happy for him. Nuki though with another on towards Neto, that's the value in it now. For the T side, as there are 3 versus 2, an advantage on towards them, and, well, as no surprise, the saying continues to be ever so told, the ball is in their court. Where do they want to head? It's going to be the B site, and I think the B site in this scenario certainly favors their setups. They have to get this right, and I kind of am looking towards Graffiti when it comes down to these smokes. That'd be nice. And there you have it, Jamie, learning from previous mistakes.
Yeah. So, smokes come in, 2 versus 3 retake here, money on Barrage's side is very low. Save this, you can have 2 rifles, 1 can drop a rifle as well, oh sorry, buy 1 up himself. Actually 1.4k, he'll have 3.7k, so no he won't. He'll be a FAMAS though, so quite a difficult position here.
Looks like it's still going to be contested though. The Shank's going to get spotted out by a scope of that AWP. He's going to be able to find the pick though and shut it down, but with no kit, well, it's only a delayed inevitable point. The Shank will try and just toggle that defuse, just bait them in for a pick, and he's going to get himself the frag on towards Jammy. And the second on towards Samwell, but he has no kit.
Orb is short though, he can retrieve the orb off the bunkers off.
He can retrieve the orb, but the disastrous point is going to be that they can't quite get the round. It is going to be 13-7, so still a developing fight, and isn't able to pick it up.
What is that movement? Why is he trying to my goodness. So, bit of a bot play there from Shanks. I can say that I'm good friends with him. And means there will be no AWP, and an AWP on overpass is very, very important. But still, Nuki now with his AWP and 4 AKs here will be the eco here from Barrage. I'd say Mirage there. Looking like 13-8, and at this point, if Impulse can take another buy round, this could be 10-13. We could be seeing a mirror of what we saw on the side of Impulse.
Starting off strong as well with the AWP, just looking to really be a bit of a turret, but they also don't want to get too close with that. They want to let the rifles do most of the work. You don't want to lose the AWP. I don't think Impulse can really kind of mess around too much. Every single round is important. Economics, less so. Jammy, you gotta get that frag on towards Neto, and it, fairly cut and dry at this point. Not even going to lose a single person up until Peto is at least going to sink his teeth into Jammy. But that is only just 1 frag, which at the end of the day is not the be-all end-all of life. It's not the second coming. What it is, though, is another round on the board. 13-8. And one huge point, a very, very big one, is that Barrage, they're the ones kind of almost licking the heels at this point going, boys, we screwed up here. We've made some mistakes. Now we have to recover from them, because most notably, look at their economy.
Oh wow, double eco. Yeah, I didn't expect the double eco. They're going to be playing for the AWPs. Could even be double AWP here. 1 AWP towards B, 1 AWP towards A. I don't quite like that setup. I think the rifles towards B is so strong just for the diversity that you have in case smokes like the ones these players are throwing now. You smoke off, this smoke will smoke off center site and towards barrels as well.
Samuel gonna find himself 1 Velox. Still just looking to make sure damage is inflicted, but at least almost a bit of a slow ticking poison. But all in all, Snods, I don't think there's really too much to say.
Shank's got kit.
Shanked, don't do this. Gonna talk with a few Cynic, gonna spray him down
there. Oh
though.
my god, could you imagine? Still, Barrage gonna lose this one. I think John to the final kill. Let's take a look at the frags. Wong and Velox leading the charge here, 20 kills apiece. Samuel sitting John at 8, Samuel at 18 leading the charge here. And actually, Samuel being the only positive player, Ray 1 is, 14-14, fair enough, but Samuel, the only player positive at the moment in terms of ratings, but doesn't really play too much into the game. It's all about impactful frags. You gotta remember Samuel had all those Mac 10 kills as well. So in terms of impact, Nikki with his AWP's been very strong. Ray 1 on the CT side definitely got them a few of their rounds that they did win. I'm thinking when they push towards A, Wong, why have you backstabbed Neto?
Just giving him some cheeky love, Not quite sure on what the thought with that is, but you know what? A casual right click seems to be the game plan, as they have done some early damage, but the biggest thing is going to be the aggression from Ray. He uses his grip to get himself that first pick. Plays for a second one, gonna whiff a crucial shot, but gets the opportunity to go for a repeat, find a second.
No way!
No one saw was right. He is gonna burn away in the fire and the flames though, so at least some value to be claimed back by Impulse as they get that equalization to a 3 versus 3. And well, the question is, where is this going to go? Velox holding in towards Waters. Jammy just going to be the man to jump right into his arms, going for a bit of a leap of faith almost. But, well, don't trust your friends is the lesson from that one for him. As he gets baited out and sequentially taken down. But Impulse, they have the bomb plot, and that's going to be most important now as Nuki. A lot of pressure is going to come towards his shoulders with this AWP, but Samuel taking the role of a bit of a flanker as he faces in towards Velox.
Nuki down the 1 versus 3. He's spotted out with some nice shot there to lead it, but unfortunately for him, Shanked is on the ball and will double dink Nuki, resulting in 14-9. Barrage here, getting very, very close to that match point. And at this point, Barrage, they can't allow themselves to be reset here. If they get reset, we could be looking at... Let's take a look at the money. Yeah, it won't be a double eco, but it will be an eco nevertheless. So this could be 11-14 at that point. Definitely very strong chance for Impulse to bring this one back. Prezi on just a 5-7, could be playing close monster with that one. But enough of that. Orb on Wong, rifles on the rest of the players apart from Prezi, and then 4 AKs and an Orb on Nuki. Strong utility and kits on both sides. Oh, the same boost working against them.
Yeah, great adaptation though to kind of add that into their playbook and make use of it. Velox elevated angle for him, goes for a spray down, but unfortunately can't quite take up the consecutive frag. Shank trying to fill into his shortfalls and is doing it all for him. A double kill all in all for him, hammering it home for his team. As Nuki, the last man remaining in Barrage, they will get themselves on match point, and there is really not much Nuki can do about it. Now we're looking at Impulse Gaming fighting up against a brick wall, and well, it has to be said, I feel like they've been up against that the entire time, and they have put up a very meritable fight. You know, you really have to commend them for getting themselves to 9 rounds, but it's not... I think our journey here might just be done.
Yeah, Nuki, definitely a star player on Impulse. He's going to have a star performance in this round if he wants any chance at winning this, but this looks like a save to me. Then again, 50 seconds of the clock, he can go try and backstab the player towards short, but LOLO, it's that boost once again. Although Prezi's looking the other way. But yeah, Nuki, they know exactly where he is now, and it's looking like he will be saving that orb. Barrage's money is strong. Oh, actually, no, it's not. So if Nuki goes for X's here, tries to take 1 or 2 guns out of the hands of the CT side, that could, you know, maybe give them a slight bigger chance here, but 0 chance at that because Nuki falls without getting any kills there. 15-9, match point here. Impulse in 6 in a row. We saw at the major, Liquid versus SK. No, it wasn't Liquid versus SK. Liquid did it to Envious. Who was it? SK versus FaZe. That was at 59. But that was Barrage. This is Overpass. And T-side Overpass, as Impulse has shown us right here, is very difficult.
Also, it doesn't seem to be, well, their forte, I think, the first way to describe it. They have done, as I said, a very good job at bringing it back, but there are still a lot of weak points, and a lot of points that Barrage are more than happy to get their hands dirty with and really just try and break on through. As bones certainly are yet to be snapped. Nuki gonna hold the angle with the deagle, but Shank's still gonna find the entry with very quick-witted aggression. Nuki then goes for a quick deagle shot, swaps out to a rifle, and does get himself that drive-by headshot. Ray with just another one towards Velox, which is an advantage to Court of Impulse. Are they going to convert it into anything different? The answer is going to be no, as easy pickings for Wong, and another easy shot for Neto as well. Certainly ask why those peaks took place, because I certainly didn't have an answer. But now at least Jammy and Ray, the last 2 left for Impulse Gaming, and they are quite literally playing for it all. Do they want to win this match? They need to pull off this 2 versus 3.
Yeah, Ray 1, smoke, 4 nades on Jammy James though. And once they do retrieve the bomb, they do get a sight. They do have the utility to hold it initially. Right now, playing their hand right, they should go towards B. Are they going to try and do what? Oh no, he's just picking on the M4. I thought they were going to go for a Prezi play. We chuckle your nades there and try and force the rotation off B. But T's, they can go through connector. Onto B short, onto B. But Barrage, they've sussed it. And you've got one more player going towards Heaven, I imagine, just so he's a fast rotate as well towards A, in case Impulse go towards A and the server's lagging, and that might be a tell as to what's about to happen.
Yeah, real unfortunate circumstance when the lag happens, because it's pretty much oh, here's a crystal ball, predict the future, but you know you're always going to get it 100% right. It's a bit disappointing, but nonetheless it is going to be the push to come on through. Wong and Neto both going to find the frags required of them, and it is going to be a 16-9 result. We get ourselves a bit of a head spin there, but nonetheless it is going to be the result that I think Barrage were looking for. They're going to be happy as ever with that response on Overpass, and it was